What's up, YouTube world? I'm back again with another video, and you now tapped in with Scenario the Illustrator. And what I'm gonna talk about is when they only care when it's beneficial. So let's dive off into it. What I mean by that? Let me break it down. They only care when it's beneficial is because when you down, when you going through things in your life and you struggling, because everybody start off at a struggling point. Majority of societies start off at a struggling point. You know? I ain't talking about the ones that was born with a silver spoon in their mouth. When you down and you handling your business, when you down and you handling your business, you don't get no credit. You don't get, there ain't nobody clapping, there ain't nobody coming through to show you no type of love. And if somebody do, hold on to that type of person. Hold on to them, because they really in the corner. They really in your corner, and they really gonna be there for you, and they gonna really, back the ideas. They gonna back financially. They gonna be there because they can see the vision. But they not gonna clap when they only, and it's a large portion of those people out there in the world. When you down, they not gonna do that. There's some people, a lot of people through my experience, they'll come around when it's beneficial. They'll say, yeah, I'll be your cheerleader. I'll be your huckleberry. I'll cheerlead. I'll come around and I'll clap when it's beneficial, because they like, all right, I didn't cheerlead. What do I get in return? What do I get in return? How does it benefit me? That fake love, that they only around when it's beneficial to them. Because that's the easiest thing to do, because you got to understand, if you putting in work, you know the amount of effort and time that you putting in to put in that work. It's an effort. You got to do all types of stuff. You got to jump through loops. You got to go through all these hurdles. You got responsibilities, and a lot of people, they not willing to put in that type of work because they not doing it day in and day out. They not taking care of their business the way you taking care of your business. They're not going. Everybody doesn't have the same vision, and sometimes the type of vision to get gains and goal, to gain your goal in life, your journey is your journey. You doing it all by yourself. So when people realize, oh shit, like they're not talking about them sleepless nights and them long days that you've been up putting the play together. They not talking. They wasn't there. It was only you. That's usually how it always starts off. Is when it's you. When you come up with the idea. When you come up with the plan. When you come up with the hustle, and you know the amount of effort that you got to put in. Once you put that effort in, and you start to see the benefits of it, oh, they gonna come around, and people who see like, how did you get that, and how did you do this, and how did you do that? Usually, people's attention span is real short. Real short. People's attention span is real short. The last thing on their mind is actually sitting down and really being patient and put a play together and staying dedicated. A lot of people was programmed to get up and go. Not saying going to a 9 to 5 every day is a bad thing. A lot of people get stuck in that trap. A lot of people get stuck in that trap and they get comfortable. That's why a lot of infidelities and shit be happening at these jobs and stuff, is because the women and the men, they realize that they not mature and they not smart enough to think outside the box. And they be getting into these relationships, let's add these 2 checks up. And not saying that's anything wrong, but at the end of the day, that's just a problem waiting for another day. That's another story. I'm going to get on that topic in another video. But yeah, but back to what I was talking about. What I'm saying is this. People ain't gonna come around. No, people will only come around, and I experienced this in my life when I came across some money. They only want to be around for beneficial purposes. They not gonna help you. They not gonna, and what you have to understand is that not only they're not gonna help you, they're gonna pretend like they're gonna help you. They gonna pretend like they in your corner. They gonna pretend like they on the same team as you, and they gonna watch. They gonna pay attention to what type of plays that you put together. That's what they gonna do. They gonna try to mimic. They gonna copy. They gonna keep. They gonna stalk. They gonna do all of that. They only gonna come around when it's beneficial. When they see that you fully capable of whatever you doing to take care of your business, and they like, hold on, it's working in your favor. They coming around to see if what type of game they can soak up, how much money they can bleed out of you, how much bread they can get up out of you. And I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping it honey. That's how the game go. When people see you succeed, people see you up. You gotta really find some genuine people out there. That's why you gotta put yourself out there in the meta world now. Like maybe your environment in the cities that you're coming from, you just ain't finding because you've been out there long enough and it just ain't happening. Now you gotta migrate to the internet. You gotta find your tribe. You gotta find your group of people that understand where you're coming from, and they gonna get it. And it's on you from there. On that point, it's all on you. On which direction you willing to go and which direction you willing to take it. People only come around when it's only beneficial for them because they see it was working in your favor. They see that they don't know how many years that you didn't put in, and they don't know what you done went through to get you on the headspace of putting the play together to get to that point for them to even be attracted to you in the begin with. To the begin with, they don't know that part. They only see the part where you shine, and they only see the part where you winning. That's the only part that they see. So those type of people is like, man, you worth getting around, but I don't know how you got it. I don't know how you got to that position. I don't know what you been through. But I also don't have the time to be willing enough to process it. I feel like that's the only, if a person is gonna want to know how your get down is to the degree, it's either it's gonna be with your lady or it's gonna be what you decide to put on YouTube. But anything outside of that, no. Anything that you will know, you're gonna recognize it for what it is. Until you teach me anything else. Until you prove to me something different to recollect and take back what I just said. You're gonna have to show me proof. And that's gonna be hard, is because I don't put myself out there like that. You know? You gotta be real captivating for me to even go out my way. But at the end of the day, like I said, for the generation behind me, you gotta really pay attention to these people out here. Like these people are vampire, energy vampires. These people are energy vampires. They'll bleed you. The world, that's how the world works. The court system. They don't give a damn. They all they want is money. Money. Everybody want money. The only way to survive out here, you gotta walk real light. You gotta walk on damn near eggshells. The ice is real thin. You can fall through it if you're not paying attention. If you're not paying attention, I'm talking from experience. I'm keeping it real. People will get up under you. They'll watch you build something up, and then they'll take it. They'll only come around when it's beneficial. They'll steal your ideas, steal they'll steal your work. Didn't try to pass themselves off like they the ones that did it and put the whole play together. That's how people are out here. People don't care. People moving in the way that they moving, and they expect you to be in a position where you're gonna fall victim, like you can never bounce back, you can never come up. All I did was just put a battery in my back. That's all I did was just put a battery in my back. Put a battery in your back. You went harder. You stayed consistent. You put it down. You didn't slow up. You kept going. You gotta watch out for people that are trying to get up under you for beneficial purposes. You gotta really watch out for these people because they're everywhere. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean that you know these videos that I'm putting out there, like where you getting anxiety and you like, nah, just be aware. Just recognize game for what it is. These type of people that get around you, for beneficial purposes. They come with handshakes, smiles, and hugs. Oh yeah, man. But you don't know these people from Can of Paint. I don't even know you. You don't know these people from Can of Paint. You didn't even take the time out to even try to get to know me. You didn't even take time. You just dive right off into the BS. Like, you know, I know you gotta be real choicy with the words and the things that you put into the universe, because people's paying attention. Especially the ones that have been through a lot, they always paying attention. Watch out for the ones that's been around you too, the closest ones. You be up under these top people for X amount of years, and they'll pull a card move on you. They'll pull the ones that you really got to pay attention to is the ones that's the closest to you too. Just stay alert. Keep your eyes open. Keep your head on a swivel. To stay 10 toes down, 24/7. It's your boy Scenario the Illustrator. Tap in, talk to me. Put in the comments below certain topics that we can discuss and we can talk about. I'm gonna elaborate and I'm gonna give you my opinion to the best of my ability and keep this motion going. Because we need to help the generation behind us. Because these prisons and these private prisons, they full right now. They full because a lot of them ain't getting this game. A lot of them ain't getting this game. Doesn't mean that everybody's gonna catch this information. Everybody ain't gonna catch this information. You can ignore it all you want. But the ones that get this game, what I'm giving, they gonna tap in and they gonna recognize it for what it is. Because if you ain't got anybody around you that's solid enough and really care, that like, you know, to help prevent you from, you know, stepping in some shit and making a mistake, you know, these are the type of options you gonna have. I'm just saying. So in the meantime, stay blessed. Peace.